Good morning, Santa Cruz Garden Scientist. Miss Jade here, standing in the garden. A beautiful, sunny Monday morning, December 7th. Hope you had a great weekend. It was my birthday weekend. I got to celebrate. It was exciting. You can see the eucalyptus grove is moving today, the tops of the trees, because of the wind. It is a pretty windy day in the garden. Ooh. Leaves are falling. I wanted to show you a couple of observations today, friends, in our beautiful garden. As we approach winter, the garden bed with favas that I planted last week is doing so well. The favas are getting quite large. They're about maybe 3 inches there from the base to the top of the fava leaf. Popping up. And this bed I had planted after, and these favas are just emerging. You can kind of see, here's one. Look around for some others. Oh, here's one coming out right there, the little leaves. So that bed is just getting going. Over here, these were the first favas that we planted many weeks ago. These ones are quite tall. They're looking like they're 7 inches or so, 6 or 7 inches. Our Lacinato kale is looking beautiful. Our cilantro is still doing really well. Some of our red Russian kale. Some of our red Russian kale, and this bed in general, I've noticed, a lot of the plants are very stunted. They're small. They don't grow very large. And for me, I hypothesize that that's because the soil is not so rich. These were some chard plants that I had put in, spinach, and they're all really small. And oftentimes if a bed is deficient in nutrients or doesn't have a lot of nutrients, the plants will stay small. And so again, in order to build nutrients, this was also a bed that I planted favas in. So you can see those coming up as well. Just getting ready here. Oh wow, that's beautiful. Leaves are coming out of that shell. Oh, here's one. Look like it was already dug up. Wow, amazing. Look at those parts there. So it looks like one is green, one part is kind of whitish. Interesting. I wonder which part is going to be the root and which part is going to be the leaf and stem. Another big change, scientists over here in this bed. Our lemon balm got a big haircut, and our oregano as well got cut way, way back and creating a lot more space for it to grow larger in the future. Our yarrow was cut back a tiny little bit. Remember our plant that the Native Americans used for lots of different purposes, a good tea, very astringent. And yeah, some of these native plants got trimmed back a little bit as well, the California lilac. So a little bit of a kind of almost winter pruning. Speaking of things changing, friends, I wanted to show you a couple of trees that are really shedding their leaves. The first one, if I follow this trail of maroonish, scarlet, orangish, and red and yellow leaves, I can see that they're all coming from these ornamental ornamental pear trees. They do not make pears that we eat, but they're used in landscaping a lot. And they have these gorgeous leaves of all different colors in the fall as they change. And I wanted to just show you an example. Here's one. So this leaf, if you look at it, on this ornamental plum tree leaf, the base of the leaf is actually wider than the top. See that? See how it's wider down here? And then it tapers off as it goes up to this tip. And so those are called ovate. That's an ovate shape. So these ovate shaped leaves are common, and that's kind of sometimes when we have an idea in our minds of a leaf shape, that's kind of the shape that we draw sometimes. A lot of trees have ovate-shaped leaves, and the tree is shedding them to save its energy, friends. So it'll conserve water with those leaves being shed, and get ready for these winter cold months coming ahead to save their energy and to go kind of dormant, to go into a sleep-like state. Secondly, friends, the other tree I wanted to show you, maybe you recognize this tree. This is the fig tree. The fig tree is also losing its leaves. And there's a lot of that discoloration, that changing into yellow and brown also before they fall. And you can see some crispy curled up ones down below. And these ones, friends, as I was walking around today, I noticed they have a very different leaf shape than the ovate ornamental pear. The fig leaves have kind of this shape that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of lobes, and each lobe kind of has its own section, and it kind of looks like a palm, right? I have 5 fingers on one hand, and this fig leaf also has 5 lobes. Because the leaf looks like a palm, kind of like my palm, right? It's called palmate. So that is a palmate-shaped leaf. So we have palmate in the garden today, and we also have a lot of ovate, bigger at the bottom. These leaves are so beautiful. It would be great for an art project, great for drawing. I'm also noticing that a lot of the ovate leaves here are falling on this garden bed, and they could stay there. They'll decompose eventually and turn to soil, but also they're going to create habitat for things like snails, and the snails will be encouraged to come and eat our other plants. So I'm actually going to take the leaves and I'm going to put them on the ground for now, and then I'm going to come back and rake them, and I'm going to actually add them to our compost pile so they can decompose in an area that is discrete or separate from these other areas in the garden to prevent encouraging those snails to live in our bed next to the beautiful lettuces and the kales, for example. All right, friends, I hope you have a beautiful week. I look forward to seeing you in class this week, upper grades. Enjoy your Monday.